The memory of what happened to you is unclear. A squirming fog, unwell, sickly, lingering in the folds of your mind like an unwelcome visitor. You'd remember a ship at sea. The old wood groaning in protest as harsh waves battered the hull, the howling of the wind beyond, low and mournful, a disharmony against the jovial shanties sung by the sailors. It was a known route. It was supposed to be safe. It was anything but. It began slowly, a low rumble, like the rolling of stones down a distant hill. But it rose swiftly, louder and louder, and the winds rose with it, higher and higher, stronger and stronger. The groan of the wood swelled into agonized, crackling shrieks. The singing stopped, and it would not begin again. The storm came quickly, too quickly, winds to rival the wing beats of a dragon, lightning with the power to bring down towers. Rain blown sideways by the gale slashed across flesh and board like a hornet swarm of daggers. At least one voice cried sorcery before a wave, black as the fallen night, propelled him from one rail to the other and into the churning fathoms below. His screams ended in a gurgle lost to the storm. Wood groaned, cried, splintered and cracked, iron and steel shrieked alongside the sailors whose lives were lost. The sea bubbled and churned, boiling with the ravenous hunger of disturbed deep fish eager for a fresh meal. For those brief instants where you did not swim among them, the faces of men and women desperately thrashing against the waves stared back at you, pale, sunken, wild-eyed, and glistening in the rapidly fading ringlight. Then they were gone, vanishing beneath the surface, replaced with a single burst of bubbles and a blossom of red. The hulls below flooded as something tore through. Ankle-high waters in the hold rose with unnatural swiftness, and the deep fish came with it. The decks of the ship were ghosted in minutes, and as the crew were dragged away, the ship sunk with them. You do not know how you survived. You felt them, the slick, abrasive scales of the fish scratched against your thighs and across your belly as you swam against a tide that defied reason. Teeth nibbled at your toes, and fins sliced at your calves as you kicked for all you were worth. Voices cried for aid, for salvation, but all were denied. All but you. You did not see it. No one did. But there it was, your salvation. A patch of land, little more than a frothing scab upon the water. You swam for it, desperate, your lungs filled with blood clot and salt, your eyes burning. And in the heart of it all, a silhouette, an obelisk rising high into the black-strewn heavens. There's nowhere else to go. Nothing left to save you. And as the winds churn and the waves boil, we begin with you all crashing upon the shore, a white sandy beach strewn with shells, half-rotten logs, and dominated further inland by a wall of thorny brambles and towering leafless trees, their branches reaching toward you like an army of twitching, eager fingers. You are soaking, you are shivering, you are cold, the air is freezing with a biting wind, the raindrops still slicing horizontally across your forms. Among your number, though hard to see for some of you, 2 little green-scale kobolds, a krauven in padded armor, and what seems to be just an ordinary human man, clothes clinging tight to his body. The light is low, but enough for you to see by, and you all spot each other. Take a moment and introduce yourselves, if you would like. Also, I hope you liked that narration. I spent a long time on it.
Nice.
So,
It was awesome.
7 point out of 10. Too much water.
Valid.
this
Probably
isn't Ruby and Sapphire.
Just killing the mood instantly. Fine. Whatever.
So everyone's spread out on the beach then. I guess the krauven moves directly towards the group and takes his hat, flips upside down, shakes more water out of it, slaps it back on his head, still sopping wet, and goes to them. Well, I've had better travels overseas. Are you all holding yourself together? Cause, well, I'm plumb lost.
So are we awake or just on the beach?
You're awake. Like, you just
Okay.
finished swimming to shore. Like, you're panting for breath and exhausted, and at least a little scraped up because there were deep fish trying to eat you as you swam for shore. But you're awake, just tired.
Well, the kobold in the weird little hoods scampers about to the other kobolds and Skaga! How are you doing? Are you okay?
Brother, you alright? Yes, I was supposed to be protecting you.
Plosives. My ears.
Sorry.
You're good.
There will be no forgiveness here.
I
Yeah, free.
helps Gaga up and while wrenching out my the water in my robe, and I look at the non-kobolds menacingly.
Oh, come on, man. Can I get a breather first?
Who are you?
What am I?
Who?
Oh, sorry. I could. Avian's gonna like shake his head back and forth, and water's gonna come out of his ears. Go. I'm Fabian.
Fabian, eh? Don't
Yeah.
remember that being on the crew manifest.
Which version of the crew manifest were you looking at?
Well, admittedly, I may have just been avoiding the captain and the crew manifest. I just didn't hear it. Look, I was very busy having a nap up in the galley, alright? So, maybe I don't quite know.
Oh.
You weren't one of the prisoners, were you?
No.
Oh, good, good. I really hate to have to do my job right now.
Were you?
Yeah, I was one of the guards on that thing. Sucks. Looks like I'm the only one who made it out. Damn good chaps on there.
Were
Except
they?
for Frank.
I
Brother, we should
frantically
leave.
look around for any trace of my ringstone and or weapon, anything.
Generally speaking, we're just going to say that whatever gear you have in your inventory is scavenged from the wreckage that washes up on the beach. So you look around for a couple minutes, kind of putting the others out of your mind for a second, and it takes you a couple of minutes, but you're able to locate your ringstone washing up among the flotsam. Easy to spot in the near pitch black environment. It stands out like a bonfire in a flat cave, just a brilliant point of white.
Rings down, eh? You're one of them magic users.
Guys, it's talking to us.
Wait a minute. Kobolds. Wasn't there a pair of fugitive kobolds we were doing aboard the ship or something?
You
No.
weren't fugitives.
I don't know, man. I was just hitching a ride.
Ah, whatever. At this point, I highly doubt I'll even get paid for this journey at all. They're with half the company. Well, so we can only see the beachhead from where we are?
As of right now, all you can see is, like, you see the beach, sort of a little further inland, you see, like, just a wall of dark trees, no leaves on them, sort of hanging over patchy, brown, seemingly long dead, just dirt, and just, you can barely make it out against the gray of the sky, just the silhouette of a tall tower.
Look over it. Well, I don't know about you folks, but I'm frankly not going to want to be out here in the rain for much longer. It's doing wonder on my feathers. So, I'm up for heading over to that tower over there and getting just out of the rain. Any of you are welcome to join me. But, if not, good luck to yourselves. Don't get into too much trouble. And he starts heading over towards the tree line, but he'll hang back at the tree line waiting to see if anyone else follows.
What do we do, brother?
Fabian gets up and does like a weird, like, fast
Let's
scuttle,
take-
wait for me kind of walk after.
Let's take a look around here first. This is an island of some sort. You're the expert. The nature expert.
I'm having a hard time hearing you. 1 second.
Yeah, I'm going to turn up make a little myself.
I have him as loud as I can get him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just gonna turn down the music on my end a little bit.
Yeah, I can.
What about
Which-
nature? The wind is so loud.
I think that was to you, Mick.
Yeah, my mic is already at 100%, so
Ah.
I can't turn it up any louder.
I just turned down the background noise.
Yep. Wish we could do that in real life. Just turn down the sound of the rain.
Not the wind, Edget. The sound of the wind.
Well, you can turn it down. It's called just blocking it from your brain.
Could flee.
Are we on some sort of island? Or I haven't seen any.
Don't know.
I haven't seen any animals around here.
Well, it is raining very badly. Very, 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 very badly.
Let's follow these guys, but carefully.
Good idea. That way we have a food source nearby.
Spicy, what are you playing again?
Like class?
No, species. I missed that. My brain is blanking.
Human.
Human.
His
Oh,
name
human.
is almost human. No, not actually.
Okay. So then you were waddling over. It was like,
Yeah.
glad of you to join me. So, human, what's your name? My name's Gija.
Fabian, I already gave it.
Oh,
Over
right,
there.
sorry. Spaced it a little.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm used to it.
Oh.
Wow, glad to be used to it. Anyway,
Oh,
I rightly think those little lizards will be joining us too. They've got more players to go.
it stresses me out.
Yeah, I'll
Ah,
start.
don't let it get you.
I'll
It's
start
just a bit of
heading
rain.
towards them, so that since it looks like the tower's the only shelter.
Yeah.
I'd rather go underground, but oh well.
I don't want to dig in this.
Nah. Cave would be nice.
Alright, so. Is there someone whistling, or is that just from the music
That's
track?
just from the ambience.
That's the ambiance. It is whistling wind.
That is neat. Alright, so. The kobolds make their way over to the other two. The little dragonkin do have much better eyesight in the dark, so you can see a lot better than the other two, just as a heads up.
We'll keep our eyes on them.
So, making your way toward the tower then?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I do have a torch and a tinderbox, but for roleplay's sake, let's just say I try pulling one out, but it's just too soft at the moment to be of use.
Yeah, it's got like a spool of seaweed wrapped around it and it's just dripping wet and it's like, I'm gonna need to get this like 80 minutes.
We'll just take a short rest.
Yeah.
In the rain, in the woods.
Yeah.
Sure.
Pneumonia! So. Alright, so. Gathering up what you can from the shore in a quick scavenge run, giving you the equipment you now have, you make your way under the canopy and toward the strange tower. The forest is a prickly place, dense, overgrown, but distressingly quiet. Like, you would not necessarily expect to hear much in the way of animal life in conditions like this, but there's just something missing here. For one thing, all of the trees, as I've mentioned, are dead, but they're not evergreens. They are just barren of leaves and out of season. The ground is like mulch under your feet, dry, squishy, but there's an unsettling crunch to it with every step that kind of sends chills running up and down your spine to then settle at the base of your tailbones. Eventually, actually, who's taking point?
I'll take points since I have survival.
Okay, make for me a... Is it survival check? Yeah, survival check. Make that for me, if you'd be so kind.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Wow, starting strong. That is an 8.
Oh dear.
With a +5,
no.
goddamn. Okay, not great, but, you know.
Gonna die here.
So, like, you're not necessarily fully adept at navigating surface environments. Skaga, was it? How you
Yes.
pronounced it? Skaga. You're not necessarily adept at navigating surface environments just yet. You've been on the surface for a bit, but most of your navigational skills come from, navigating in the tunnels of your old burrow. Up here on the surface, in a dense forest environment like this, the lessons you were given by old instructors and your own general sort of understanding of things did not prepare you for an environment like this. So even with your strong sense of smell and keen eyes, you're getting turned around. But for a mercy, you do have just a big-ass landmark pointing the way, so luckily for you, this still counts as a success, just not a graceful one.
Everything is level. There's no slopes. How am I supposed to know which way is elevation if there is no elevation?
That's
means
also
there's
just
no
gotta know your
elevation.
cardinal directions, right? Yeah, you up from your down, you left from your right.
Which ones are those?
I see we got a bit to learn here.
Which hand do you use for everything?
Both.
Oh God.
Right, well, I think we can at least make our way there, because it's the only thing you can see for miles. It's not like there's a canopy to keep in the way. Kind of weird, though. So you said it's out of season, so, like, what... Is it, like, summer or fall or whatever?
It's like somewhere in like the spring to fall spectrum. You would not expect trees like this to be dead at this time of year.
Could I try using my nature skill to see if I can, to the tree? Maybe the rain would probably destroy that option. Well, okay. Is there a way? Could I just see if I notice anything that would be obvious? Like maybe the trees have a rot. Are they diseased? Is it just
Likely
Is it-
drought?
Yeah. Is there a way? Is there a way to find out?
You can make a nature check. Go for it.
All right.
6.
Probably not.
So you're a caravan guard. You're not a nature expert. It's dark out, and you're kind of tired. So you look at the tree, you look it up and down, you're like, yep, that's dead. And you keep walking. You don't. There's nothing that you. There's nothing you can glean.
All right.
All right. After a few more minutes, you eventually manage to come out the other side of this thicket of dead trees and twisting branches, and you find a cobbled path of old moss and mud strewn sort of. What you checking for there, Fabian?
Anything that is anything outside of the scope of what you were about to describe.
Well, I'll just expand the scope of what I'm describing a little bit then. What are you doing?
I was trying to read it.
Anyway, so as you sort of break out of that thicket, you find these sort of large, square, paved stones, old and weathered, partially eroded and reforming into the mud and dirt around them, smeared with moss and dust and dirt and just general unpleasantness, leading up the slope toward the base of the tower. And as your eyes sort of settle on it, for the two kobolds in the group in particular, as the details become visible through the haze of the rain and the mist and the general dark atmosphere, there is an immediate tingle, thrill, and rush of disdain as a koboldic blood memory is triggered. In the back of your minds, both of you instantly recognize that you are looking at a structure created by the Orions.
Yeah. I almost rather sleep outside.
Racism is alive and well.
You'd rather sleep outside? I don't know. Rain's pretty bad. It doesn't look like there's any holes in
People would be
there.
a little more tolerant of others in this day and age.
I said
Well,
almost.
Well, the Orions are dead, so
Yeah.
extinct.
Maybe they have some secrets hidden here.
Secrets in this abandoned thing? Really?
Perhaps.
I think you need to set your expectations much lower.
I mean, where? Where else do you keep secrets? Like in your mailbox?
What's a mailbox?
He's gonna curl up in a ball on the ground.
It's all right. It's all right. You'll be fine. I think. Get up.
I say we save that one for later.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'm gonna roll something here.
What you rolling?
I'm rolling to see if A, he overhears that, and B, if that makes him cry. So what do I roll for that?
To whoever hear that, it would probably just be your passive perception. If it's higher than 10, then yeah, I imagine you'd overhear
Yes.
that. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
so-
now what do I roll to see if I cry?
Crying is a free action.
Maybe a free
Constitution.
action.
Constitution, probably.
I would. Well, that's for like physical endurance. This is like, I would say
Charisma? Or
charisma saving throw.
Ooh.
Fabian starts
cry?
crying.
All right.
Just pathetic. When you said you were playing a normal guy, I didn't think you meant that he would be a little sniveling bitch.
Well, I'm imagining what your average NPC would be thinking right now.
I'm
He's
only
just
like
he's just got like a short sword like clung to his chest like a child would like a stuffed animal.
Well, I'm only like 2.5 feet tall. I can't be that scary.
Well, pale ring kobolds are generally much taller than that. They usually come in at like dwarf height, if a little shorter.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 3.5 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Gijo
like,
just shakes his head and is like, "Oh, I can't see a grown man crawl like this." He turns around.
I'll check the meat on his hips. If he. What? Well,
Word less than what it's in, and you're resorting to cannibalism.
that's
What-
not cannibalism.
what-
it's
I'm
not
not eating
cannibalism.
my own species.
Okay, you know what? Fine. What do I roll to see if Fabian is thick?
You don't roll anything. You decide that.
But it's funnier if the dice decides.
Yeah.
I guess just roll a flat 1d20.
Okay.
I'm trying to scare you people. 17. You're packing some stuff in your trunk, sure.
Okay.
You have got a bit of you've got something.
Oh, gee.
For all these jokes, I'm pretty sure whatever malevolent forces we're gonna face is just like, okay, I'm just gonna fuck with these guys on principle now.
Gaga, you're not sure, but he looks a little like he's salivating.
You got a bit of rain there, brother.
Yeah, probably.
All right, enough of that. Enough of this. All right, you human, get yourself up. You'll survive this. It's just a shipwreck. And you, kobold, no eating other sentient beings. All right? We'd like to
Why
think
not?
ourselves a bit more civilized than that.
Food is food.
Could be an emergency.
Well, I think that's enough standing out in the rain.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just gonna get up.
All right. So, following the path up, it doesn't take you terribly long before you reach a massive, towering set of doors. Partially ajar, made of stone, flanked on either side by old statues that very visibly resemble hooded figures, unmistakably Orions. And the reason they're so unmistakable is the strange, uncanny masks that they wear, combined just with the forearms being well, their forearms are their whole thing, after all. Orions have 4 arms, and it's spooky as shit. No one knows why they have that, they just kind of do.
Did.
Their entire bodies enclosed in these long, flowing, elaborate robes, but stepping through the front doors and into the interior space of this ancient ruin, you're greeted to a geometric chamber, sort of spread out to either side, support pillars, 6 of them in total. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and give you a visual, shall we?
Woohoo! Visual aids.
Indeed. So, you can still hear the rain outside and the occasional blast of thunder, and there are trickles of water through the occasional gaps in the roof. Looking around, you can see that there are a handful of what might have once been lightable torches, but they have long since lost their capacity and anything that might have fueled them. The interior space has a limited degree of light, mostly provided by what little bits of light creep in from outside. There is a door at the far end, directly ahead of you.
Alright.
Why do we have 2 sets of point?
One of those is your hit points, and the other is your armor class. The gray one is your armor class.
Yeah, just to
For easy just for easy reference.
Look at me rocking such high numbers again.
Right.
I guess, shit, who wants to go first? Oh, let's someone else go first if they want.
Rock, paper, scissors to go first.
We don't have our hands out, and there are 4 of you.
Okay, All right, fine. What I want to do is just a simple RP thing. I'd like him to just empty. Gijo just starts emptying things from his pack, pulls out some of the rope, and I'd like to tie between these 2 points. Those are pillars, you said, right?
Yeah.
All right. Clothesline knot, and just start hanging the torches and the clothes that he had in his pack, and basically just and even his pack as well, and just let stuff start dripping.
All right.
Dry it out.
I will go ahead and just mark that down.
He was like, well, I'd really like some of these torches, but, yeah, these things aren't even lightable. Not even worth the stick the wood. I might be able to make a fire out of them, I guess.
All right. Yep. Got that marked down.
I'm rummaging through my pack, but it doesn't seem like I want to take stuff out.
Yeah, he's just got like a bedroll hanging there. It's just sopped entirely.
Yeah.
I will go and put my head against the door to see if I can hear anything on the other side.
All right. Perception check for me, if you would be so kind.
It's gonna be a 4
Oh, well,
on the die. I'm calling it.
Oh,
13.
Dang.
It's kind of a heavy slab of a stone door. There is a handle. It's kind of high up, but putting your ear to the door kind of low down towards the crack to hear better, you're not hearing anything particularly interesting. Just sounds like more hallway.
Brother, are you still interested? Guys,
What?
guys, there's a door. There could be secrets. Are you still interested?
Yeah, maybe. These things at the pillars, are they torch holders or something?
It looks like I said, it looks like at one point they were torches, but they are no longer viable.
Right.
Just remnants from when this place was in use.
Okay. The Lights Island. Yeah, we kind of need to see if there's anything alive in here.
I will go ahead and just point out, this is something you probably would have clocked, particularly the kobolds, because you have the night vision. The tower looked like there was, like, an opening at the top, bringing to mind images of lighthouses employed by the people of the modern day and age, so...
But it was faint, it wasn't bright, the light up there.
You didn't see any light up there,
Oh,
but
okay.
but perhaps it could be lit.
Gijo finally finishes rummaging through his things. He's like, torches may be useless, but I've still got this. And he holds up a lantern. And it's got enough light and enough oil in there. All right. I guess he would light then his bullseye lantern.
Yep.
And then come up
Why
with
would
gold.
the torches be useless?
They're wet.
Wet
Oh,
torches can still be lit, no problem at all.
They're still sopped.
Yeah, that's no problem at all. Torches are designed to be that.
Well,
We're not familiar with the anatomy of torches.
Okay.
They're fire on a stick.
Yeah.
Either way, Gijo, you withdraw your bullseye lantern, turn the little switch on the side, and this beam of light spreads out before you. So you now have a cone of light by which you can see, basically a fancy flashlight.
Nice.
Whoa.
I'm gonna outlast this shit. Oops.
I'm gonna
Just gonna
check
move
the.
everything.
I'm gonna check the door for locks of any kind.
All right, investigation check. $13. Doesn't appear to be locked. This door is ancient.
It's just-
no
it's just
locks.
11.
No, no
Yeah.
locks. No traps. It just it like this door is ancient.
I'm a little taller than Skaga, so I reach up and turn the handle.
You kind of have to tiptoe stretch to reach it because these doors were designed for people of Orion stature who are like 8 feet tall. So you have to like tiptoe it a bit, but you reach up, you grab a hold of the handle, you turn it. There's this heavy before the door slides open, revealing another dark corridor with another door at the far end. Piles of rubble from caved-in portions of the roof. More water trickling down in thin rivers. A couple of strange black stains in the corners.
Yeah. Hey, you guys. Wanna go? See what is hidden in here? Or wanna stay here till you rot?
I mean, oh,
You should be grateful that Skaz is offering for you to come with.
I don't know. Should we stay here?
What else are we going to do?
Okay.
All right. Does Gijo have anything to add?
Apparently not.
I guess
Okay.
not.
I've been talking.
Oh,
I'm
well,
wondering
we
why
haven't
I've
been able to hear
quiet.
you.
How long have I been quiet?
Oh, a few minutes.
At least 5 minutes,
Oh.
yeah.
Damn, then everything I was saying I thought was well timed. Okay, no, literally, because the last thing I said was, he said, oh, hey, should I stay here in this room? And I said, yeah, sure, you can stay here, by yourself, in the dark. Alright, I'll
No
just keep checking
backup.
my mic. Sorry. But yeah, no, so I got, yeah, Gijo just says, like, yeah, little ones, where would we be without, the brave kobolds to brave the darkness? We are so thankful. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What's there to be brave about? It's plenty well lit.
Of course it is. You got me and my trusty little lantern here. So lead the way, you small
I
friends.
miss my eyes.
Well, don't stare at it. It's like the sun. Don't stare at things too
Friends.
beautiful for too
Mhm.
long.
Then look away from my brother.
Go forth, Gaga. I'll be right behind you.
Yes, brother.
All right.
And I'll start scurrying down.
All right. So, group sort of advances forward down the corridor. You get the impression that this was probably maybe some sort of buffer zone. Like there was the entrance hall down there, but whoever resided here would have had used this long corridor to just keep unwanted visitors out. But as you reach the far end, the door you reach is slightly ajar. The sound on the other side is a little more, I'd say muffled. Perhaps muffled. With nothing else for it, I assume you just push that door open?
if possible.
Yeah, it's doable.
I would also like to check out the stains, but I am not a bright character.
I mean, you
Yeah,
walked right
we-
over one of them, so...
We don't have too much brightness between us.
Nope.
Gator just thought they were, just dried dirt and mud. Didn't pay much attention to it.
Regardless. Putting hands to the door and pushing it open, it opens with a shrill shriek of old rusted metal and old cracked stone, revealing a larger chamber, supported by 4 pillars with a high roof that sort of vanishes into the darkness above. To the left, you can see 2 separate doors in the wall. Directly across from you, there is a long corridor heading to yet another door, with more of those strange black stains just permeating around it. And off to the right, you can just make out what appears to be some manner of small offshoot with a different, more elaborate door. Holes gaping in the floor allow old roots covered in moss and rot to come coiling up and spiraling through before punching through the walls and vanishing into darkness beyond. Kind of casting
Still
the
nothing to eat.
cone of light from Gijo's lantern about. There's thick clouds of dust hanging in the air, but mostly the air is surprisingly clear, the only dust being that which was kicked up by the door just now being pushed open, as if the whole place had settled long ago.
Kijo would probably make his way up to the first giant hole and just aim the lantern down to see just how deep it goes.
It doesn't go in a straight line, so unfortunately the light of your lantern cuts off prematurely at a bend in the passage, but you see more of those black stains.
Oh.
Whatever plants were going on here, this place has rolled away enough for nature to take it back. Any of these torches, I assume all the torches that we see are just as dilapidated as the ones at the entryway.
Yes.
Alright.
This doesn't look like healthy nature, though.
Make a
Are they,
nature check.
You said molds and rot. So
Yeah.
that's what I can elaborate from that, but I can happily make a +0 nature check.
I could take a look too with nature again if you'd like.
You may. All right. Skaz, you're not well versed in surface plant life. You're more used to the fungal and strange bioluminescent growths of your world below home. But for Gijo, looking at these old roots, you get the impression that these may have at one point been healthy, but like the dead trees outside, they've just fallen into decay over time, and a lack of disturbance is the only reason they haven't just devolved into puddles of goop. Like, there's nothing here that would facilitate the rot.
Alright. It's a bit odd. This mold and goop around this thing doesn't quite make a lot of sense. You only see that kind of stuff around, anything that's, still got a bit of, life or juice left in it. But this is like mold forming around a piece of dried wood without any water on it. Doesn't quite make a lot of sense.
Yo, Fabian, you
Yeah.
gonna move up, or are you just hanging out in the hall in the dark,
Yes.
alone?
Whoops.
So, you have 4 possible routes. Where do you wish to go next?
Good adventurers always go left.
But there's 2 lefts.
Let's try the first left. because
Which one
we
is
are
that?
here.
Well, as my old cavern guard leader said, 3 rights make a left. So let's take 3 lefts to make a right.
Huh?
It's a traveler saying.
It's strange. Okay, is this door openable?
Putting a hand to it and pushing. Yes, it is openable. It opens up into another long corridor. Passages, or a couple more doors on the southern side, and a short corridor heading north at the far end. More holes, more roots, more little piles of rubble, more long dead torches.
And more black stains.
Not in this place, actually.
Okay.
Those are just holes in the floor that you're seeing there.
Alright, then,
Is the second left? Might
yep,
count
so we
as
just need
right.
to take 1 more left after this, and we'll be right back to right.
All right.
DJ with his free hand pushes open this door.
All right, you push it open, and you regret the decision immediately. Even with your deadened sense of smell as a krauven, Gijo, you can tell that the room you just pushed open is rancid. There is just a horrific waft of the stank of rot and decay that sends all of your instincts scrambling into disarray. For those with the dark vision and the light of Gijo's lantern, you see just a mound of nondescript, rotting mass. Mold and old root and broken splinters. Old fungus that is shriveled in upon itself and regrown and shriveled again 1,000 times over, partially blocked off by more of those now dead roots punching through and back through the walls. It is a sight of unsettling your stomach. And it's even worse for the kobolds. You're already on edge, standing in Orion ruins, and with your heightened sense of smell, it's like getting slapped in the face with a bag of bricks made out of corpses.
Putting one hand up to his smell center of his beak, I'd like to just see if I can see anything further beyond with my lantern, and just not moving through the doorway. Just can I see anything else from the doorway itself?
Make a perception check.
Yeah. Where's? Yeah. Okay, not passive perception. Perception check. There we go. Wait, why did I do 2 of those things? Oh wait.
It's the advantage system.
Oh okay.
In this case, we just pick with whatever the first one is.
Ah.
So, peering through, sort of covering the nostrils on your beak with a hand and squinting into the dark in the light of your lantern, you're not really getting anything else. You see some more of those black stains on the walls. There's just nothing else. You can't even really identify what you're looking at. It's just horrible.
He just then takes his hand away and just shuts the door. Well, I'd say that's a no.
Good decision.
Anymore.
Must have been a food storage place. The only thing I could think of. Probably had a whole bunch of grain and meat and abandoned the place and... Ugh. Steps around the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well I've had enough opening doors for today. Someone else can take the next one.
Okay.
All right, the bolds are on the next door. Putting your hands on it. Second verse.
Smell
same.
again.
Huh?
I'll try and smell at the door first if it smelled similarly to the other one.
Perception check with advantage.
Just had the thought of like a dog trying to sniff underneath the bottom crack of a door.
I mean, yeah, kinda. You've got a stronger sense of smell than bloodhounds. 13. I mean, you still pick up the scent of things that are old and rotten, but it's not anywhere near as pervasive.
All right. I'll carefully open the door.
Opening this next door, Gijo shining the light of his lantern through, This time it is identifiable as being a storage room. You see old boxes and crates and barrels, many of them broken open or rotted over time, but present. Several of them have been pried open, emptied of their contents. There's still some of that strange, just rot substance scattered across the floor, a lot of broken debris and detritus. But it's not nearly so much of a mess as the last one. As if whatever happened in the other one started to happen here, and then got bored and left.
Oh. Intriguing.
Alright, I guess just I'd like to see if there's anything that looks useful or non-rotted.
You can make a perception check again. 18. Looking around, I mean, it's mostly just rocks, bits of broken old glass and ceramic, some clay, and a bunch of wood. Like anything that might have been in use that was stored here has either long since been taken or been broken down by erosion so much that it is no longer viable.
Not a scrap of anything even useful. Not even bows.
You said that some of the boxes looked like they were forced open.
Yeah.
Recently?
Make an intelligence check.
Hooray. How? This way.
15. Judging by the erosion on the edges of those breaks, not recently. Probably quite some time ago. Long enough for erosion to wear the cracks smooth, at least.
Right. Okay. Not that I'm intelligent, but at least.
Alright. Gijo waits for everyone to come through, and he just shuts the door behind them.
So we did 3 left.
Which means, like I said, we deal right next. You see? The advice always comes back. Though technically, I guess, coming at it from this angle, it is yet another left.
Damn. Oh well.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
At least the crates didn't look like they were open in the past years.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Any
whatever happened
looters?
here happened long ago.
You can actually
Yeah.
make a history check if you'd like, Gijo. And Fabian, I guess, if he's interested in anything of the sort.
Not a history buff.
Oh, I do have proficiency there. I'll roll it. Never mind.
You are too busy shitting your pants to think of anything useful, Fabian.
Whimper, I guess.
All right, just wait. Just if Gijo wants to roll anything for that.
At this moment, I mean, I could try rolling history too, just to see if I remember anything or whatnot. I'll just try it. Why not?
All right.
Okay.
All right,
Something come
so,
to mind?
Gijo, you're not necessarily an expert on Orion history, as there is no such thing as an expert on Orion history, but you have heard stories as you've been escorting caravans over time, and it makes sense that this place would have been abandoned for a long time. If it's old Orion ruins, it would have been sitting abandoned for over 1,000 years at minimum. The Orions, after all, did go extinct, presumably between 1,500 and 1,000 years ago. That's about the window of time over which their empire crumbled and their entire species was erased. leaving nothing but ruins that, to the best of everyone's knowledge, have mostly ceased to exist on the surface. The fact that you found this and that it's in such remarkably good condition, relatively speaking, is equal parts fascinating and alarming.
And those crates and whatnot, would I hypothesize that looks more recent than 1,000 years?
Those
Like someone
did not
disturbing
appear
them.
to be of modern make. No, those were old.
Oh, so but I meant them being cracked open. Would I be able to tell that whether it was something that happened 1,000 years ago or more than less than 10 years ago? Or something like that?
You would need a lot higher than a 19 to be able to make that sort of timeline prediction. Even with a krauven's natural intelligence, that's very, very difficult to predict with accuracy just by eyeballing it.
All right, I'll pass that along. Yeah, the weirdest thing I know about these things, I mean, I'm no expert, don't think there is one, but from what I heard, no one's really found any of these ruins of this type above ground. Especially to find one so, well, in relative condition, good condition. It's a bit weird. A little disturbing, even.
Skaz and Skaga, there's something you would both know about that. Specifically, the reason why there aren't typically Orion ruins on the surface is because the dragons that survived the same thing that wiped out the Orions made it a point to completely erase those ruins in the interim, before everyone else started crawling back up to the surface.
Perhaps
So the
we're
fact
a little...
that they didn't touch this one it raises some questions. Why wouldn't they?
Perhaps we are slightly more off course than we thought we were.
We must have missed it somehow.
Dragons. Yeah, big flying lizards. Missed something like a gigantic tower. I don't know, I kind of find that a little hard to believe.
Oh, I mean,
Dragons would never make a mistake.
Not saying they
be.
did. I'm saying more likely, maybe it wasn't that they missed it, but that they didn't even want to mess with it. But that just makes no sense either, because come on, they're dragons. What the hell could they be mistaken? What the hell could they be afraid of?
Perhaps it was obscured in some way.
maybe
makes
we're in some form of purgatory.
Nah, Fabian, it ain't like that.
Purga what?
Oh, it's what was it? Like, you know what? Fine. he tries to recall purgatory.
Eh.
I think it's some sort of afterlife thing, like a limbo or a place between places of where you go when you die. Don't rightly know.
If you're dead, you're dead.
Eh. Pretty sure I'm still alive. Pinches himself. Yep, still alive.
That hurt.
Sadly.
Yeah, you got claws, so that did kind of hurt.
Yeah.
Ouch.
All right, you opening this door?
Try and open this door. Yeah.
All right. Opening up this next room, you're greeted immediately to the sight of what appears to be a ruined dining room and kitchen. Off on the far left wall, you see old stoves and ovens, partially caved in and covered in rubble. Against the southern wall, what looks to be just a counter. Directly across from where you step through, there's a large stone table. Right-hand side, there's a door leading you're not sure where, and another door on the northern end of the room, farther off to the left. Plentiful piles of rubble. You're not really seeing any of those black stains in here, though.
All right. Wait, I got an idea. This is the stove thing, right? This one right here.
It's one of them, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to check to see if there's any coal or coal remnants in any of these stoves.
Prying it open, yeah, it looks like there are a few just lumps of really old coal. I don't know how useful it'd be, but there's some in there.
Yeah. Well, it may not help much, but it's better than nothing. He'd like to take all that old coal and just,
Coal in
eat
general
one of
is
them.
millions of years old, so
Fair enough.
1,000
I'm not an
1,000
expert.
shouldn't do any.
Right, I'm not an expert on coal, so
Oh no. Coal, even if it's charcoal, that stuff can literally keep for, assuming it's in a dry position, it can just keep for thousands of
Millennia.
years. Yeah.
right.
So
Well,
yeah, he'd like to just gather it into one of the stoves there, and just keep it there, and then wrap it up in. Oh shit! No, he put all the linens over there. Shit. Whatever. He just takes the coal and puts it into his bag. He's got coal in the bag now.
Sure. I'll say you get 3 clumps of coal. You can cosplay as Santa Claus for one house of naughty children.
Hooray.
Or help with a fire later.
Maybe.
I'll put that in my inventory. 3 lumps of coal and a partridge in a pear tree.
I'd like everyone to make a perception check.
So, yeah, I was just gonna say I would like to look around a little, but it's okay.
Alright, perception.
Hey.
Ooh.
Oh, is this passive perception or
No,
the,
you're rolling. It's an active check.
Okay, so this one.
God damn! Okay. A 14, a natural 20, a 21, and 2 nat 20s. God damn. Okay. So, it is sort of starting to collectively dawn on all of you as a group as you're navigating these tunnels and passages and hallways. Even with the understanding that this is a long abandoned place, there is just no sound in here. Like, aside from the wind and the rain, you might expect to occasionally hear, like, a bat or maybe some mice or something. You know, you could imagine that some tiny form of life might have made itself at home in a place like this. It provides shelter from the elements. Why wouldn't it? But there's nothing. And that's just starting to gnaw at you. There should be something. And there isn't.
Do we even hear, like, is the building even creaking at all? Stone shifting and whatnot?
If nothing else, the Orions were good at building things, so no, the building is just holding static and still.
Damn, that is disturbing. So, it's not just me, but, is it a bit too quiet in here, or do you feel that too?
Very still. Besides the storm outside.
It's weird.
No mice, no bats, no rats. Heck, I would even thought to find, like, a giant mole or something in here with all the mold, but no.
And no bugs. You haven't seen a single spider, fly, centipede?
Well, if small creatures are frightened of stuff like that, it's usually because there's some sort of predator. I really hope this doesn't become like the home of like a bear or a wolf or something like that. Well, heaven forbid. A druid.
Well, where do you go next, my guys?
I was trying to look around a little, since this seems like at least an identifiable kind of room.
Well, what are you looking for in particular?
Well, just stuff. Okay. That we might be able to use to see what happened here. Any kind of notes, any kind of scribbles.
Nothing in this room.
Okay.
Hmm.
It is weird.
Well, this is the kitchen. And one of these adjoining rooms either has to be a dining section or another storage room. A pantry of some kind. Unless that was the pantry back there with that... Oh, jeez, even bringing it back up brings back the smell. God. How about you, Scoy? What does your kobold nose smell?
That's a good question.
I won't make it roll for it this time. Sniffing at this door, you're not getting anything noticeable.
Nothing really. Oh, guess I'll open it.
All right. And just for clarity, Skaga and Fabian, while those two are opening that door, are you touching this door here?
Skaga is if he wants.
Not a boy. Silly lunch meat.
I got it for you, sir.
All right, well.
I'll
All right, well.
I'll open it, yeah.
All right, so that saves me a bit of time because it lets me just do this. Joink. So Skaga, we'll start with you. As you push open your door and poke your head into that room, your dark vision lets you see a series of shelves sort of wrapping around the edges of the room, each one loaded with old jars and pots and little wrapped up parcels, but a lot of them are empty, as if the whole thing has been scoured long ago. Many of the jars or pots that you see have been shattered into shards that lay strewn across the floor, and you see more of those black stains, sort of almost like something was dragged in circles around the shelves for a bit. But judging by the contents you're seeing here, you're guessing this was a pantry.
You, quiet one.
Yeah.
What are your skills?
What are you good
What is
for?
this? What is this on the floor here? I'll inspect the stains.
Well, what do I roll?
Are you investigating the stains?
Sure.
You could do nature or medicine to try and deduce what it is. I would allow either.
Do nature, because I have...
Oh, good. Okay, that's good.
All right. Nature from Fabian. Looking at these old stains, I'm not exactly sure how you know this, but looking at these old black stains, you're brought to mind of decomposition almost. But like something that was expunged from the inside, like bodily waste, like vomit maybe, that then blackened and congealed over time, or half-digested food.
No.
It is very unpleasant. Thankfully, it is long dried.
This has been everywhere? Eee, someone's very sick.
That's not very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
unfortunately, the other door... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it's very gross, is all I was going to say.
Unfortunately, the other door doesn't lead to a dining room, just leads to another hallway. And, hey, you found the pantry. Anything good?
Vomit.
I'm checking.
Last I checked, vomit is not very good. And was it from you, Fabian? You look a little bit green around the gills there.
There's nothing wrong with being green. He should be so lucky.
It's tone of phrase. I
Touche.
heard it from a fishman once. No, it's not me. I guess I'd just like to roll to see if I find anything that actually isn't broken.
Roll perception.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same.
Investigate the shelves.
Ugh.
Nope. Looks like everything in this room was taken a long time ago.
It also stinks.
It does. It's very gross.
Lovely.
All right. So, where do you wish to go next?
Do we backtrack or do we go to this hallway?
Let's try the hallway.
All right. Making your way through the door in the north of the dining room and kitchen, you step out into the hallway again. Off on the far end of the hallway, off to the right, the eastern side, is a door that, just with some vague spatial awareness, you figure probably leads back to the grand hall you came in through. North of you, there are 2 doors set into the wall, and then what appears to just be an open archway leading into another wide hallway heading north.
As I leave, could I investigate the Vliglib?
The what?
The Vliglib. The writing on the ground that says Vliglib.
What?
What?
What the fuck are you talking about?
From my perspective, I see a V, then an L, an I, a U, a G, and a B.
Where?
What?
Oh, never mind.
You can't just say that and then say never mind.
Yeah, that's forbidden.
What the fuck are you talking about, you mad bastard?
I have no idea.
Oh, is that just pantry upside down?
Permission to beat him to death.
No, I have things for that.
Permission to
2.
beat him almost to death.
No, I have things for that.
I'm thankful.
Permission
I'm
to
thankful one
join
person got it.
in on the beating of the death.
I mean, you can be another victim. All right. Are you hitting that first door there?
Absolutely.
All right. So, pushing this door open, you are greeted to the sight of what is... Thank you. You're greeted to the sight of what is unquestionably a bedroom. A desk made of marble and stone on the far end, piles of rubble, and a lot of those black stains just all over the place. They're old, partially, water-damaged diagrams and notes pinned up to the walls all over the place, and scrawlings and scribblings as if left by someone who is steadily losing their mind. A lot of it appears to be in ink, and then it transitions to scratch marks, and then just those black smears. All in the Orion language, which unfortunately none of you knows how to read.
That is what you think.
You have that warlock thing, don't you?
I have that comprehend languages spell for just this reason.
Right, okay. Forgot about that one.
Did you actually write anything down for what these notes say, or are you about to make it up on the spot?
I know what they say, but not word for word.
All right.
Well, it could just be a thing of the, if you can pull off the spell, I mean, doesn't mean that the spell is perfect.
My spells are always perfect.
Yes, how dare you?
The ego is strong with this one.
I feed into it.
Okay, I'll make out the
What? On this Christian stream? Well, okay, if you want to make out, go right ahead.
With who?
But then again,
You know,
your brother
but-
insisted it's a bit
Lyra,
weird.
I need you to shove your face into my mouth.
Oh my god.
That is a
I
deep
understood
cut
that
that only
reference.
one person here is going to get.
Okay.
I understood that reference.
Yes,
I did
you
not.
made it.
What?
Don't worry
What?
about it. It's in joke stuff.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. Duration 1 hour. Oh, nice. Okay, I'll take up my ringstone and concentrate on it. And usually, when somebody is working magic, a faint white silver shimmer emerges. But in his case, it looks almost reddish in color. And
Good timing.
he doesn't even speak any words. He just concentrates and his eyes begin to glow in this silver shimmery way.
All right.
And he starts to read.
All right. You start going from diagram to diagram, touching your hands to the surfaces so that you can make out what they say. A lot of these appear to be purely anatomical diagrams of different types of body with notes in the margins talking about responses to stimuli A or stimuli B or waveform C, various vague descriptors that you don't necessarily have a frame of reference for. It's like trying to solve algebra, but you're missing components.
I see.
Some of the, like, sort of the further along you go, it seems like some of the notes are more frustrated. The handwriting is more, like, twitchy and scratchy. Some of them are less coherent and, like, clinical in their descriptions and more unhinged, deranged. As you pass from the diagrams and the notes pinned to the walls and move to the walls themselves and the scribblings on them, the writings there are more... they seem more personal. It's the same handwriting, the same scrawl, but on an enhanced scale. And as you're sort of reading through them, it starts off almost like mockery. Words to the extent of, and they thought I couldn't do it, and things like that. But then as it goes on, more of them, as you get to the scratchings, the words start to shift from gloats and taunts to mumbles or complaining and lamentations. The grumbling won't stop. I can barely feel my belly anymore. They may have been right after all. This was a mistake. I can't walk it back. And when you get to the black smears, which seem chronologically to be the most recent, it's just nonsense. But every so often you find hints of words, as if someone was trying to write hungry, food, pain, eat, 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 before it just devolves into smears. Not words, as if just someone threw more of this black slop against the wall, punching the stones with it in a display of frustration and aggravation.
And this was definitely an Orin.
The language is unquestionably Orient. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you reading all of this out loud?
Yes. What I can understand, I will read out loud.
All right.
So, if we're following what you're telling us... Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Were you gonna repeat it differently? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. If I'm following this correctly, sounds like some guy or something, some Orion, did something they weren't supposed to, got the comeuppance, and went crazy.
It seems so.
Lovely. So, what, he made himself sick, and that's what all this junk is?
Very
He's,
sick.
he like points to the black splotches, which to now Gijo, having heard about what was on there, is like making sure to keep a good distance from any of it.
I'm not really sure it was all his. There's quite a lot of anatomical charts here. If you catch my meaning.
Nope.
Gotcha. No, I don't get your meaning at all. Sorry.
Okay.
Well, he was some sort of doctor or something?
No. Let's go.
Is there, is it-
Possibly the opposite of a doctor.
Oh. But wouldn't that be like an assassin then?
Can I examine the black goo stuff?
I mean, you can. What are you looking for?
I have a theory.
Uh-oh.
Theory.
What are you trying to do? I need specifics, or I can't help you here.
Hang on, I'm gonna just TM it to.
Oh, goody, whispers, secrets.
He's got a theory. In this
Last
game.
time he did whispers to me like this, he killed Veronica with a poison potion.
But yeah, he's got a theory in this game. Again. Pretty
Like,
sure if
what
I make
what would I roll to investigate that?
I would say medicine or nature.
Okay. It's gonna be nature because I actually have a bonus to that.
Okay.
Dang.
Whatever this was, it's too old for you to glean that from it. I will tell you that it is definitely some form of organic, but that's all you can glean. And a lot of things can be organic. Mold is technically organic.
Is this a door that I'm by?
Yes.
And just before you open that, I just want to say Gijo is working his way around the Belak sludge over here to the end table, and he just wants to investigate to see if there's anything in the end table or under the bed.
Under the bed, it just looks like some old discarded shreds of cloth, a few mangled pieces of long tarnished metal. As for the end table itself, just a few more stacks of old papers written in that language you cannot read.
Excellent. Would you allow me to take some of that old papers and some of that old cloth and just throw it into the pack?
By all means.
All right. Small pile of cloth and paper.
Right. Skaga, this door is very unceremonious compared to its peers, and when you push it open, you see why. It is a bathroom.
Excellent.
And there are things on the floor that I'm not going to describe. It's bad. The smell hits you, and you have to resist the urge to retch. It's bad. It is very, very bad. It's like, I mean, come on. We're playing a horror story here. There has to be a horrifying bathroom somewhere. It's like a rule.
Absolutely.
There has to be an awful toilet.
It's like everything is dirty except the toilet.
Well, I didn't exactly have the tools with my making software to make the toilet as grody as possible. All right.
No, I was joking. Basically, like, it's everywhere but the toilet.
Did you
I
shut
have
the
to say, by the way, that whatever tool you used, it looks awesome.
Yeah, Dungeon Draft. It's called. It's not
Okay.
free, but it is very good. It's well worth the
Cool.
one-time payment.
Did you shut the door as you left it, or did you leave it open?
No, I ran screaming and trying not to vomit.
Yeah. So then
Like,
Gijo,
feces!
Gijo comes right along and he probably gets hit by the wave. And just goes, oh, babe! Shines his light over there, and then just stares at it horrifically, just like, oh, it shouldn't be natural. Oh. And he's like, okay.
There's a bowel movement of unfortunate magnitude.
While
Not
he's
much, but-
trapped and horrified, a part of his mind just clicks, and he, I'm just gonna perception this. An unfortunate, trapped by fear perception.
17.
Is there
What do
anything?
you-
Does he spot there's nothing? Does he spy anything that is moving, or is it just all dead material?
It appears to all be dead.
He's like, ugh, God. And then he shuts the door. He's like, well, could have been worse. Heard about one guy who found a fetus in a sink.
Oh.
I like how I just mark it as bad.
The bad room.
Well,
The bad
one thing's for
room-
certain.
The bad room, right next to the Orion's bedroom.
Okay.
Fabian, how you holding up, mate?
That's not good.
Well, I mean, look at the bright side. A few fire spells and maybe a heaping helping amount of water. You can probably fix this place up.
It should
Anything,
be
it's gonna be burned down.
Alright.
Okay, next
1 second.
door.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing none of us are
I'm
wizards,
sorry,
but-
I have to be right back for a minute. I'm being called away from my computer by my mother. I'll be back in a
no.
couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. Let's resume this. So, where are you going next, people?
Well, we're standing before the door that we are about to open.
What door?
There was one, wasn't
When
there?
I'm standing, you're just standing in the middle of a hallway.
Nope. There's the door here.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah, your health bars are covering it.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. All right. Once again, this door is not locked. Pushing it open with this heavy groan, you are greeted to the sight of what appears to be the most... Well, it is a large library. Shelves upon shelves loaded with scrolls and tomes and sheets of parchment. A full archive.
Whoa. Okay. My spell is probably still ongoing since it takes an hour.
Mm-hmm. As long as you maintain concentration.
Sure.
I'd like to help him by more dead torches, right? Torches that don't work.
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to take one off the sconce. I'd like to take some of that fabric I got before, wrap it around the dead tip, and then pour a little bit of the turn off the lantern, and then just hit the nozzle and drip some of the lantern oil onto the fabric, and then light it with my tinderbox.
All right. You got a torch now. Oof.
Yeah, I'd like to give it to Scotch. That way we have more than one light source.
Smart.
Okay. I
Wouldn't it be better?
walk around the room and try and determine what has been most recently read or not packed away or used very often, things like that, and see if I can make
Investigation check.
out some sort of pattern. Oh man.
And while he does that, just for the next foreseeable 10 whatever minutes, I'm just going to do that to the other 2 torches for Fabian and Skaga, so everyone has a light source. But it's probably going to use up a bit of the oil in the lantern, so...
I'm not too bothered about it.
All right.
13 investigation, Skaz. It is really hard with, like, the timelines we're dealing with here to really determine what was the last thing touched. Everything on these shelves is kind of old. As you, like, pull a couple scrolls out and read through them, you're getting the impression that these were, like, research notes, progress reports, idle musings. Same handwriting that you saw in the room from before on the old diagrams and the margin notes.
Jeez.
This,
Yep.
and, like, you see multiple references to this place being called a lighthouse, but also a lab. You find the occasional reference to an elevator that needed maintenance or a power source in the basement. It's all weird, but you're picking up little tidbits of information. But you also find notes and references on a cell block and a garden. But it's all very clinical and technical. And even if you can comprehend the Orion's language, the writing itself is still esoteric and written in vague terms, as if it's expecting whoever's picking it up to just know all of the context already, like written for the benefit of oneself rather than anyone else.
Yeah,
So, like, it could be them saying a colloquialism, like Romeo looking to Juliet on her balcony, and we don't have the context of Romeo and Juliet.
Kinda, yeah. There are a lot of colloquialisms like that you just have no context for. That being said, as you sort of start getting towards some of the ones that seemed like, based on the numerical patterns, these reports do appear to be dated and sorted by date. And as you get to some of the more recent ones, you find notes that just something referring to the Sovereign Lights, that one of them is gone.
Sovereign Lights. Okay.
One of the final notes you find says something to the effect of, "It seems the war has ended in catastrophe. The lesser of the Sovereign Lights is gone, and my spellcraft no longer takes root. No matter. I got what I came for."
Oh. Anyway, this whoever filled this library seemed to be a rather productive fellow.
So he was like some researcher. A brainy guy. One of them, like, mages who always is in the tower. Oh. I guess this does make it a mage tower then, don't it?
I have my doubts. But if I was not mistaken, while I was going around here, I've seen a door in the back.
Yep, there's a door on the north side.
Yes, everybody should have a working torch now. So.
Yeah, you can all see in an area around you.
Alright, cool.
But, yeah. Pitch usually is very, very waterproof. And covers the wood, so that makes a torch
Alright.
quite resistant to water. Unless it's locked there for months.
Oh, cool. I'm learning about adventuring.
All right, so you opening that door there?
Yeah. Carefully.
All right. Pushing open that door, you're greeted to more hallway.
Jeez.
Yeah, there's a lot to this place.
So much hall.
I'm imagining that this is there's actually only one path, and as we pick doors, you're just frantically rearranging it before revealing it.
No, like the whole place does have like a pre-made layout that is kind of open. You're free to just kind of go in various different directions. There is like a path I want you to go, but you're free to poke around to your heart's content and find it on your own time. I'm not going to handhold you here. I mean, hey, poking around in that archive gave you some context you would have missed if you'd just bealigned it for the objective.
We don't even have an objective at this point.
I mean, you do. You do kind of have your objective. You do kind of have an objective. This is a lighthouse.
Oh,
Yeah, like
didn't even think of that.
Yeah, like I kind of stated that before we even started playing a ways back. It's like the objective: light the thing and hope for rescue.
Oh, right. We want to be rescued. Right.
Yeah, you're stranded. You're marooned. You're not poking around in this place for scholarly curiosity. You're poking around in it because it might attract someone who can help you.
Okay, well, maybe that was your intention. Unfortunately, Gija's just more in the thing of just trying to find something to eat and maybe a hot bed to rest for the night and wait until the storm blows over. Find a point, wait for the storm to blow over.
How's that for a slice of fried gold? Either way.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
all right. So it seems like the kobold siblings are advancing just straight ahead north.
And Gija's just falling behind them, shining his lantern into different corners as things go.
All right. As you sort of get to this point with this sort of a intersection, a path heading off to the right, you look down it and there's a sort of like a little thrill up your spine because you see more of those black stains smeared all over the floors and a number of narrow paths, evenly spaced, leading to what can only be cells.
Oh.
Brother, I want to look.
Interesting.
Didn't quite look at that. Is this a door to my left currently?
Yeah, there are two.
right
There are kind of two doors off to your left. Yeah.
Okay, they're shut doors. Okay,
They're
we'll
shut.
leave those alone for now.
All right.
We'll join with the kobolds as like oh no, I'm getting kind of a bad vibe about this whole area. More so than usual.
All right.
This is
sorry,
usually.
I
Go ahead.
do gotta go now, so I can
we'll-
get ready and everything.
Yeah, we'll reveal this last thing, and then we're gonna have to call it.
Yeah,
So-
sorry.
It's okay, not your fault. So, Skaga and Skaz, as you're sort of leading the way down this long corridor lined with cells, and you peer into each one, you see more and more and more of those gross, dried black smears and stains just all over the place, and what look to be signs of struggles. Scrape marks on the walls as if left by nails dragged along, old bones picked clean. Different black stains that are vaguely red tinted, the hue of old blood. It doesn't take much to deduce that there was a massacre in these cells.
Sheesh.
Though whatever could have caused it, well, that's the question, isn't it? But we'll have
Might
to
have
figure that out.
investigate.
We'll have to figure that out next time because, unfortunately, Fabian's gotta go.
Yippee!
No.
Oh wait, I mean no.
Sad noises. But I digress. So, Not quite as much into it as I would have liked, but you know what? It's fine. I don't mind running this for more than one session. That's kind of how it was going to happen anyway. Y'all are taking your sweet time picking through the place. But I mean, hey, that's fine. I made a big-ass dungeon. I'm happy you're getting to see it. Even if you're not, even if nothing's attacking you, the whole point is to build tension, yeah?
It's working.
It's working.
Nothing like finding out the former occupant, kind of went crazy and possibly ate prisoners. Yeah, totally normal. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And the thing is, all these maps are here. These are maps with details on them, and that makes you wonder, where's the thing that's supposed to be here? Hey? When am I gonna stop just having you wander corridors? Am I? Let your
I think
paranoia
just
run
wanted
wild.
You just wanted to show off your
Existential
architecture skills. That's it.
Either way,
we
we'll
are
pick
in
the...
purgatory.
Maybe you are. Who knows? Maybe this is Silent Hill. We'll pick this up in a week, I hope. So, if this winds up on YouTube, thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to this. We'll see you next time. Until then, take care of yourselves. Don't be a dick and keep listening, people. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Noodles.